Welcome back to Morning Joe. Despite Zohran Mamdani's meteoric rise to the front center of New York City's mayoral race, his Democratic colleagues have still been cautious to publicly endorse him. According to the New York Times, Mamdani did receive a congratulatory call from former President Barack Obama after his primary win back in June. That call revealed in reporting by our friend Mara Gay. But Obama has not yet formally supported his campaign. When New York Governor Kathy Hochul was recently asked who she would be backing, she declined to formally endorse anyone, saying, quote, "I'm having very interesting conversations right now. There's no urgency." Mamdani's campaign continues to keep him in the national spotlight, most recently with a feature in Time magazine. President Donald Trump has even reportedly discussed with aides whether he should intervene in the race in his former hometown. Joining us now, CNBC founder, Newsweek editor-at-large, and senior advisor to Versant, the soon-to-be parent company of MSNBC, Tom Rogers. Tom, every time we see you, pick up a new title. Great to have you with us this morning. So let's talk about this Mamdani race. It is interesting. It is such an advantage to be the Democratic nominee in New York City, a deep blue city, to be clear. And whether it's Hochul or Jeffries or the like, these are Democrats who tend to stay out of primaries. That makes sense. But the primary is over. Mamdani's the party's nominee, their party's nominee. Why aren't they backing him?
Well, I'm glad we can talk about this because everybody's focused on governance in D.C., and we are sleepwalking into the election of a avowed democratic socialist, which all the Democratic establishment, for good reason, is hesitant to endorse. They're hesitant because the business community, the Jewish community, law enforcement community have huge concerns about Mamdani as a mayor. And it's not only about what that may mean for the city of New York, which at this particular time I don't think needs a democratic socialist mayor, given the issues it's confronting. What it means for the National Democratic Party, particularly if Minority Leader Schumer, Minority Leader Jeffries, both from New York City, of course, end up having to endorse in some way his candidacy, hanging that around National Democrats, I think is a dream of Donald Trump, to be able to use Mamdani as a symbol of the Democratic Party going into the midterm elections. So for good reason, everybody is hesitant.
So, Tom, from your point of view and what you're writing about, those National Democrats who want to try and stop Mamdani, or the New York Democrats who might want to try and stop Mamdani, what are you advising them to do?
Well, the reason I say we're sleepwalking into this is everybody knows this is, in the centrist elements of the Democratic Party, knows this is not a good thing. But the circumstances are such, with a four-way race, incumbent Mayor Adams, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and the Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, four-way race, Mamdani wins. And the only way I think this can be a real election, which New York City residents deserve, between a far-left candidate and a centrist candidate, is to get this down to a one-on-one race so we can have a real election here. Unfortunately, that's a very difficult thing to do, and circumstances on the ground just aren't changing. In order for circumstances on the ground to change, I think we need to get this down to a race between Mamdani and Cuomo. Now, neither Adams or Cuomo are particularly strong candidates. They both have substantial weaknesses, and both actually poll that 60% or more of New York City voters would never vote for either of them. But the only way to really get this down to a choice is between the two of them. And Adams says it's incredibly hubristic of Cuomo to suggest that the incumbent mayor should step out of the race. But Cuomo says, hey, look, the polls suggest on a one-on-one, I'm the only one who can beat him. Now, if you just poll likely voters, neither of them can beat Mamdani. If you get this down to registered voters, Cuomo gets pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I think we shouldn't gloss over this, but Adams and Cuomo are both deeply problematic candidates. I mean, Adams, is besieged with corruption allegations and the perception that he's in the pocket of President Trump. His poll numbers are completely tanked. Cuomo does a little better, but his time as governor was also marred by scandal. He had to resign, and he ran what can only be described as a lackluster, heartless primary campaign. So these aren't necessarily great options. And it does seem like Democrats are at least warming to the idea of Mamdani, some of them anyway. I think the Obama phone call, though it didn't come with an endorsement, at least not yet, that still shows something, I think, that there's part of the party that's like, look, we may not agree with everything that Mamdani says, but there's something there. And the way he ran that campaign with energy and the media involvement, that matters.
Well, he did run a great campaign, and he ran terrifically on the affordability issue, which is not only a major New York City issue, but we know it's about the #1 issue nationally. But there are an awful lot of reasons that people ought to be concerned about a far less democratic socialist mayor of New York City, not the least of which is New York City, as I said, but what it means for the National Democratic Party. And at least giving the voters of New York a real choice. A four-way race just splinters it. He walks in. There's no way he doesn't win. It's not a one-on-one race. So the most logical way to have a competitive one-on-one race is to clear the field so Cuomo, who looks like the strongest one-on-one candidate against him, can run. Now, to clear the field, it's going to take drastic measures for a drastic situation. And what I've actually proposed is, hey, look, Mayor Adams actually has real law enforcement credentials. This is not a great way for him to end his career in a loss like this. Cuomo has a lot of money behind him. Why don't Cuomo's backers set him up in a consulting situation so he can help as a consultant to other cities getting crime statistics down? New York City's crime statistics have really been declining. Get Sliwa out of the race by Cuomo offering him a deputy mayorship. It's the closest he'll ever get to becoming mayor of New York. Republicans do tend to siphon off 200,000 or 300,000 votes, so you got to get him out of the race too. And then maybe you got to shout here at a real choice for New Yorkers between a centrist candidate, yes, deeply flawed, but I'd argue Mamdani is deeply flawed also. It's a real statement of the state of the Democratic Party that this is the choice that Democrats have in the biggest city, most important city in the country.
Okay, Tom Rogers, who's now advising Versant, which I think, John, makes him our boss. Tom, thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah,
we agree with
thanks,
every
Tom.
single
Whatever
thing you said.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, so smart. His new piece for Newsweek is available now. Up next, the redistricting fight in Texas and the response from California Governor Gavin Newsom. Talking of Democrats, Morning Joe will be right back.